Well, hello, folks. This is Jeffrey Darty. I'm your Christian whistleblower, and I'm coming to you with a little bit of Christian whistleblower action right now. I want to talk to you today about a Bible verse, and it's a Bible verse that I've quoted a million times. It's one that we've all heard a million times, and it's the one that it's one of the ones that Christians quote ad nauseum. But I think after hearing this verse broken down into the original Greek, they may not want to quote this verse quite so much anymore. It's one of the great classic verses. It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I'm going to read verse 15, and it says, and I study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And just as you read that in the original Greek, the idea that this verse conveys, it just so clearly shows the difference between the religion of Yeshua and the religion of Paul. And I just want to, I'm going to show you this just so you know I don't make these things up, off the cuff. I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and this is something that you can do on your own. What I'm doing is looking at the BibleHub.com interlinear. I'm looking at 2 Timothy 2:15, and it shows a literal English rendering. It shows the Greek, and then all of these things that are blue, they're actually hyperlinks. So it'll take you to somewhere else. So if it just shows you in the original Greek, hasten to show yourself approved, hasten to be able to present yourself approved to God, hasten to be able to present yourself approved to God, a workman that needs not being ashamed, accurately handling the word of truth. Well, that doesn't sound that much different, Jeffrey. But when you look at it, like, this is what you have to do if you want to really understand. Okay, hasten. What does that mean? Click here on 4704, and it's going to tell you, be eager, be zealous, and then go in a little bit deeper. Be swift, fervently work. And if you continue to go down, be diligent, make every effort, hasten, exert. If you look at this, the whole thing is work really freaking hard. To do what? To make yourself, or to make yourself, that's pretty clear, to make yourself, you work hard yourself, to make yourself what? We say approved, but to show yourself that you're acceptable, to show yourself that you're worthy, to show yourself that you have to prove your worth like a coin or a medal. Show yourself acceptable, show yourself pleasing. So right there, we know that Pauline Christianity says that, man, dudes, you got to work really, really, really hard. You got to work really, really, really hard just to prove yourself acceptable to God. Pauline Christianity says you got to work really hard to prove yourself acceptable to God. And Yeshua said, come unto me, all ye that are weak and heavy laden. If you remember my teaching on that the other day, that those words mean, come unto me, all of you that are sick and tired of working really hard to show that you're approved. It's an absolute dichotomy. Yeshua says, you are born with the spark of divinity within. You are born with the kingdom of heaven within. Come to me if you're tired of working to show that you're approved unto God. Paul says, work your ass off to prove something. And Yeshua says, listen, if you're tired of doing all that work Come to me and realize that you're already accepted. Come to me and I'll give you peace that passes all understanding. I'll give you life and that more abundant. That's what Yeshua says he's going to give you. Peace and life and that more abundant and rest. Come unto me, Yeshua says, I'll give you rest. For my yoke's easy, my burden's light. You'll find rest unto your souls. Paul says, get out there and work your ass off. Can't you see the dichotomy between the two faiths? And he says, show that you don't need to be ashamed. Paul says, show that you do not need to be ashamed. Do not need to be ashamed. Paul says that do this so you will not be put to shame. Do this so you will not be put to shame. See right here, not to be put to shame. So the Pauline vision is work your ass off to prove that you're worthy and that you will not be put to shame. While the Yeshua version of things is you're already accepted, you're already worthy. Come to me that you might have rest unto your souls. What does all of the things that we call cults do? They make you work, they make you work, they make you work, keep you wondering if you work enough or have done enough to prove yourself. And then Paul finishes it up here in 2 Timothy 2:15. He says, accurately handle the word of truth. And this will blow your mind. Accurately handle the word of truth actually means to build a new way, to cut a new path. So what Paul is saying is you got to come to me. You got to work hard. You got to work your ass off to prove yourself so you're not ashamed, because we are cutting a new path. And indeed, they were. The Pauline religion was cutting a new path. The new path is you're born with original sin. You got to do everything you can to make sure you don't burn forever in a lake of fire. You got to work your ass off. And I say ass, and I usually don't cuss, but I think it's important that you get the emphasis of that so that you can prove that you're worthy. As we blaze this new trail, Paul says. So Paul says you got to work really hard to not make yourself ashamed, to prove that you're worthy as we blaze this new trail. That's what Paul says. And Yeshua says, as I thoughtfully stroke my goatee, Yeshua says, the kingdom of heaven's in you. The spark of divinity is in you. And these guys want you to work. They want you to worry. They want you to wonder. I say, you've already got the spark of divinity within you. Come to me. Learn my ways. Learn my truths. Learn this life. It leads to life and life more abundant, and you will find peace that passes all understanding, and you will find rest for your souls. Pauline religion makes you work your ass off to prove your worth, maybe if you do enough. Yeshua says, hey man, hey lady, I love you. You've already got the spark of divinity in you. Let me show you how to develop that, and let me show you to have a peaceful life. Let me show you to have a life of abundance. Let me show you how to find rest. Which one of those do you want? Which one of those makes the most sense? See, that's why Pauline Christianity has done what it does, because it has to get rid of that whole Yeshua peace and rest and joy thing and make you work like a rat on a wheel for their new way. You can go the new way if you want, but Yeshua has a way and a path that brings peace, and it brings abundance in your life. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your Christian whistleblower. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm saying to you, bro, my sister, come on, man. Peace that passes all understanding. Life and life more abundant. Rest for your soul. Or, while you're watching the video, get out there and work your ass off to prove that you're not ashamed and that you're worthy, because we're blazing a new trail. Which one do you want? You can go Yeshua's way. You can go Paul's way, but it's time to wake up and say, man, I can't pretend that I believe the words of Yeshua and the words of Paul, because they mean totally different things. So quit lying to yourself and quit lying to others. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. I'm sending you out lots of peace and lots of light. And the best way to find peace and light is to, of course, unindoctrinate yourself.